This is an edit demo for your Levitation photo shoot. So at the end, I should have my picture, my shadow, levels. So to start, I need to file scripts, load file into stack, find my pictures and hit OK. So I'm going to go to file, scripts, load files into stack. I'm going to hit files, browse. I'm going to shift click to select the two pictures, hit open. I need to either drag up, shift click. You could also command A, nope, just a shift click on the two pictures, hit OK. Okay, so here are my two pictures. This is my background, so it needs to go on the bottom. And here's me with the stools. So I need to make sure my background's on the bottom. Now I need to select the subject. So I need to pick on the one that has the subject. I'm going to use my subject object selection tool. And I'm going to click on myself. And it should do a pretty good job of selecting myself. You could also use your quick select tool to drag around, but honestly it doesn't do as good of a job. But if you need to add or subtract, you could also use quick select. Object selection is better. And then I have myself selected. I'm going to go to selected mask. I have my view on overlay because that's what I like, and then all of the showing me the red, so you might have to fix these. I can see that it's selected. Oh, that does look like it's my foot, but it looks weird. So I'm going to turn the opacity down. There's something black right behind my foot, so it should not be in there. So I'm going to go to minus, and I'm going to try and have it minus that piece that I don't want. It went too far, so I'm going to go back and hit plus. And that is why we were using a layer mask. You should also hit the refine hair button. Did a better job. Now I'm missing part of my face. So it is not perfect. I need to erase this. And I can get it as perfect as I can, and then we'll fix it later with the layer mask. So there, I'm selected. I'm going to make sure I pick new layer with layer mask. Hit OK. So now here I am on the background. And there's one little weird piece of my head, so I'm going to go to my brush tool. I'm going to switch to white. I'm going to command plus and zoom in. I am on my layer mask. And I can just, black will erase and white will bring back. There's, oh, too far. Ah, there's something white behind my head. It's like the door. So I'm gonna actually bring it back. So if my feet are weird, I see it was a hand behind it. So I can tell the edge is a little weird, so click on the layer mask. I want to erase. And then this should be there. My feet are there with the black, so I'm just going in and fixing the weird spots with a layer mask so I have maximum control. And then we will talk about liquify in just a minute. So white will bring back the stool. Black is erasing. I'm making sure I'm on layer mask. If I paint and it paints black or white, I am doing it wrong, which it currently is not doing. But okay, so now there I am floating. We're going to, okay, so now I need to liquefy it if the bottom looks weird using the push tool. So I'm on, make sure I'm on this layer, now on the layer mask, click on this. I'm gonna go to filter, liquefy. And it might take it a minute to open the dialog box. And you want the forward warp tool. And you're on this one, and you want to try and make it look more realistic. I'm looking at the size and pressure and density. So basic setup. Oh, see, it's only, hold on. It doesn't like my layer mask. So I'm going to Command J, and I'm going to apply the layer mask. So now here I am by itself. So I'm going to filter, liquefy, and I'm going to zoom in because I want to do the feet. Okay, and they're a little flat. So if I push, see how I can bring it out and it gets like stretchy. So this is bad, Command Z. You just want it to look kind of natural, and you put the middle of the brush where you want it to go. But if you do too much, it stretches out the pixels. I'll pretend like it shouldn't just be a straight line because I'm standing on something. And this spot right here is a little weird, so I'm gonna make it a little smaller to just get that one spot. And I'm putting the middle of the brush where the line I want to move, like this. So you don't want to stretch out the pixels, and it's actually easier if you do it with a big brush, because if I use a tiny brush I can make a mistake, and if you make a mistake with a big brush it's much less noticeable. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm gonna hit OK. And now you'll see the shoes are slightly different than this one. So I'm turning off, this is the layer that was below it. So that's before, after, before, after. It just kind of rounded it out so it makes it look more natural. Then I need to select my subject again, but since we already did that, there's an easier way. So I am going to, is it Command click? Yes, I'm going to Command click on my layer, or you can Command click on the layer mask, and that works too. But I need myself selected. Then I'm going to hit Command J to duplicate the layer. Command J, so I have another one of myself. And I'm going to drag it down and try and make it look like a shadow. So I'm going to Command 0, zoom out. So I'm going to go to my move tool. Am I supposed to flip it? No, I just smush it. And then if I hit Command T, I'm in transform, and it normally won't let you smush it. So I'm going to unlock, and then I can mess up the proportions. So maybe about like that. And then I'm going to pull the black cider, I'm going to pull them all over to the right on levels. So I'm going to make an adjustment layer. So I'm on the right layer. So image, adjustments, levels. And I'm going to pull them all to the side. And what that does is just make it completely black, which is what I want. Now I'm going to turn the opacity down to 20% on that specific layer. So here's my opacity. Pull down to 20. And then on that same layer, I'm going to add a Gaussian blur of about 50, but up to you. So I'm on the same layer. It is filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and it just kind of makes the shadow blurry. And I'm going to hit OK. So I did the Gaussian blur. Now I need to save it. So File, Save. I'm going to name it Levitation Demo because that's what it is. I'm going to put it on my desktop because that's where I save things. Photoshop file, hit save. And then I'm going to save it again as a copy for a JPEG so I can turn in. So File, Save as a copy. Make this say JPEG. Hit save. It's going to ask me how big. I'm going to go the biggest. Hit save. And then I'm also going to Command Shift 4 and take a screenshot, making sure my layers are in there. And that is how you edit your Levitation project. Happy editing.